So today we are going to compare two poems on a similar theme, which is a question that often comes up in the Junior Cert English exam. The two poems that we're going to look at are Base Details by Siegfried Sassoon and Conquerors by Henry Treece. Both poems have a theme of war. To do this, we are going to use our stilts, which are style, theme, imagery, language choice, tone and sound effects. So we're going to compare the poems under those headings. So first of all, we'll compare the two poems in terms of style. We can see that Base Details is quite satirical in style, and what this means is that you're using humour to criticise something. For example, when he says, "I'll toddle safely home," he's criticising the leaders of the war. In contrast, Conquerors is more evocative and descriptive in style. He is describing coming upon this hidden village and what it is like just after the war has ended, as we hurried through the weed-grown streets. So now we will compare the themes of the two different poems. Base Details by Siegfried Sassoon has the theme of the injustice and the inequality of war. Likewise, Conquerors has a similar theme. It shows what it feels like to win a war and to be a conqueror, and how it doesn't feel the way you would expect it to. So now we will compare the two poems from the point of view of imagery, and we can see that both poems use effective and vivid images. We can see that both of them have chosen to use aural images, which are sounds. For example, Base Details has the major guzzling and gulping in the best hotels, which is a disgusting image. Conquerors also uses a variety of sounds to create atmosphere. For example, the melancholy song of swinging gates. Now we will compare the two poems from the point of view of language choice, and we can see that both poems have chosen to use a lot of words with negative connotations to create quite a negative picture in our mind. Base Details describes the major as fierce, bald and short of breath. Conquerors also has a number of negative and sad images, such as a dead bird in a rusting cage and a dog with legs as thin as sticks. Now we will compare the poems looking at the tone that they both use, and we can see that there's a clear difference between the war poems here. Base Details is quite angry, quite mocking in tone. "I'd live with scarlet majors at the base," whereas Conquerors, it isn't critical or angry, more shocked and sad. "Not one of us would have eaten bread before we filled the mouth of the grey child." Now we will compare the use of sound effects in the poems. We can see clearly that both poems use alliteration to give emphasis. In Base Details, he talks about how if he were a major, you'd see him with his puffy, petulant face. In Conquerors, we hear about the grey child that sprawled as stiff as stone. We can also see that both poems use assonance. Base Details talks about the major guzzling and gulping in the best hotels. The Conquerors, on the other hand, repeats long O sounds, which works to create a sad, melancholy atmosphere.